Cypher Sigma here, and it's another in-depth collection video. So I'm not going to be around the bush, let's just get into it. So we follow on from Disney. Here we have District 9, quite a good film, South African film. Charlotte Copley, I think, is the main character in this. I quite liked him, and it's obviously from Neil Blomkamp. So obviously, then we have District 13. A very different type of movie. It's kind of martial art. As I say, it's a transport and stuff. It was all right. I didn't like it too much. And then we have District 13 Ultimatum. Obviously, it's a lot of free runners and stuff. It's nice to cover. Again, the films are all right if you like free runners and stuff. I thought they were okay. Disturbia, quite a good kind of almost thrillery kind of suspense type movie with Shia LaBeouf. Then we have Divergent, and then Insurgent. I don't think I've ever got the third one, and it's a shame they obviously stopped it before they actually could finish the series. Django Unchained from Quentin Tarantino. Really like this movie. Dead or Alive, obviously a very cheesy kind of game to film. It's not that great. Some nice ladies to look at, that's about it. Then obviously Doc Hollywood, obviously a big Michael J. Fox fan, so really like this film. And Dr. Giago, if that's how you pronounce it. I haven't watched this. This is I bought it but haven't seen it yet, so I can't. Then we smooth back up there. Let's obviously some Spider-Man figures for you toy lovers. Then we have Dodgeball, a classic, the 5Ds of Dodgeball. Then we have Doghouse. It's an okay kind of zombie thing from Danny Dyer and obviously Noel Clarke, the early days. And Kevin Smith, we have Dogma. Do like this movie. Then we have Dog Soldiers. Gotta love a bit of Dog Soldiers. Then we have the Joss Whedon series Dollhouse of season 1. I did quite like the premise of this. And then obviously season 2. And that's all they wrote, unfortunately, on it. Domino. So Keira Knightley is a bit of an action hero type. I thought this was quite good. I quite liked it. And then we have Donnie Darko, the classic Jake Gyllenhaal kind of very weird film. And then I bought the second one, S Darko, but I've never seen it, so unfortunately I cannot comment at this time. Don Juan, quite like this bit of a silly Jason Gordon-Levitt movie. Don't Be a Menace. I love the Wayans Brothers, but I think I only watched this probably the last 5 years, and I think I was too late to the party. My tastes have changed, but I'll keep it in there because it is referred to as a classic. Don't Breathe. I really like this movie. I have seen the second one, but I don't own it. Unfortunately, I didn't think it was as good. But yeah, a very, very good movie I thought this was. And Don't Say a Word, obviously a kind of thrillery what's going on with a mental patient and her doctor, Michael Douglas, and obviously the late, what is her name? Not Mina Savari. What is her name? Because that'll bug me. Brittany Murphy, that's it. Then we have Doom. Not the best as you see, it's had a few bits and bashes. Obviously it's a rental copy, but I thought this movie was alright. I quite liked the kind of section where they go into the Doom perspective, and obviously it's got an alright cast. Then Mark Dacascos, one of my favourite martial artists from the 80s. Obviously Double Dragon, probably maybe not many people know about this. Very cheesy, but I like it. Double Team, obviously Dennis Rodman and Jean-Claude Van Damme, a very unusual pairing. It's alright. Downsizing, went to see this with my wife. Me and my wife really liked this movie. I thought this was quite a good concept. Very good cast. Then we have Down to Earth, so Chris Rock. it was an alright movie. I mean, Chris Rock is a little bit like you love him or you hate him. I didn't think it was. Yes, it was alright as memory. It's been a long time since I've watched it, unfortunately. So, then we're Down to You, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Julia Stiles, a kind of romantic comedy. Again, it's alright. It's on the 90s vibe, I believe. Dracula Untold. I saw this at the cinema again. I quite like this version of Dracula. I know it wasn't received very well. I thought it was alright. Probably do another watch at some point soon. Then we have Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. I like this movie. You know, he's a dishwasher. Like, me and my friend have a running joke kind of about that. But yeah, Jason Scott Lee, sorry. I thought it did a good job. Then the absolute, not very good at ever making animes to Western audiences, but yeah, they kind of got this wrong on many fronts, but it is what it is. Dragonheart, good old Kevin Costner, Sean Connery even, not Kevin Costner. It was the Dragon, I believe, and then Dennis Quaid. I quite liked it, 90s fantasy. Dragon Tiger Gate, a good martial art movie based, I believe, on a comic book. Donnie Yen, obviously, is front and centre. He actually trained a few of the other actors in this who don't come from martial art background, and there's some very, very good martial art scenes. High recommended on my point. Dragon Wars, I think early 2000s kind of fantasy movie. I don't recall much of it, so it obviously didn't leave that much of an impression. Then we had Dr. Dolittle, Eddie Murphy. I do like this. I like animals and stuff. And I did like Eddie Murphy. I do quite like a lot of Eddie Murphy movies, even. So I've got 1, and then I've got 2. Don't own 3, though. That surprises me. I'll have to look for that. Dreamcatcher, not a bad movie. Obviously, aliens and stuff. Getting into your dreams. And that Stephen King book, I believe this is based on. Then we've got Dread. I know everybody loves this. I prefer the 90s version. Having seen this twice, I like the movie. And it probably matches more of the comic, which is why people like it. But I don't know. I thought the cheesy 90s movie I preferred more, but that's just me. Drillbit Taylor, obviously 2010, I think, round. Obviously Owen Wilson comedy. It was alright. Didn't leave much of an impression, so not much to say on that. Then again, Mark Dacascos. So this is Drive. This is a very interesting movie. So this was created at the same time as Rush Hour. Has quite a lot of dynamics and setups like Rush Hour. Released round about the same time, but this didn't do very well because not many people knew about it. And Rush Hour obviously has done really well. But yeah, I'd definitely recommend people to put this up. Then we have Drive. Wasn't the biggest fan of this when I watched it the first time, but you know, you can't love them all. Drive Me Crazy, Melissa Joan Hart, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and obviously the main bloke from Entourage. Yeah, it was alright. Kind of a coming of age, dating, teenagers dating. Driven, obviously Formula 1 with Sylvester Stallone. I remember him putting a coin on and he could pick it up. It was alright if you like Grand Prix. Kind of switch your brain off a little bit and enjoy the ride. Driving Aphrodite, I quite like this movie. This is from the same people that obviously did the Big Fat Greek Wedding. It obviously stars most of the cast of the Big Fat Greek Wedding, or several of the main cast, the main lady specifically. Yeah, I quite liked it. As I say, I do like romantic comedies and stuff. It's nice to have a varied taste. My wife's favourite movie, Drop Dead Fred. Here he is. If you didn't guess the movie, you would have come across this, I think, a few weeks ago when it was her birthday. Drop Dead Gorgeous. This is obviously the pageant show, I think, where people start getting killed. Again, watched it around about the time it came out, so I can't really say too much. It's been a while. Doctor Strangelove, watched this recently. Obviously, Peter Sellers from the Pink Panther fame. It's alright, not majorly my cup of tea, but let's say I've watched it, I've got it in the collection, it is in my top 100s list to watch. Then with a bit of Jackie Chan, Drunken Master. Cannot recall this movie. I think this is one I got off my friend, so I may need to re-watch this. Dude, Where's My Car? sure everybody's heard or seen this in the late 90s. I really like this stupid comedy. Dudley Do Right, I think the later phase of Brendan Fraser's career before he went away for a while. I still think it's silly. Not as good as George of the Jungle, but... Then Due Date, Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis, however you pronounce his name. I thought this was quite a silly, funny movie. It's a bit different, something from Robert Downey Jr. to Iron Man. It was doing at the time, and obviously Zach is kind of similar to his character from The Hangover, really. Right. Now, unfortunately, this is where the toys are playing in. Let me just move these. And move Shriek. So we have the complete season 1 that I picked up, I think, end of last year. There is a video on it. So yeah, and obviously, as you see, £3. I think that's how much they honoured it for. And the complete season 2, I do love this series. Loved it back in the day, but it has a dog in it, and if something barks on the TV, this guy Mark, he likes to bark back, so it limits what animal movies we can watch. Right. Then we have Duets. Don't think I've ever seen this, so I can't really comment. Dumb and Dumber. Not the biggest fan, but still got in the collection. Dune, the original. I watched this. Very, very long. It's the, I think, director's cut. Oh, especially TV. Yeah, it's like 3.5 hours. I've watched it all. It was all right, but it made me understand the newer one better. And then obviously my pickup of the TV series. So James McAvoy with a nice lenticular cover. Dunkirk. I quite like this. Big fan of Christopher Nolan. Again, I thought really, really good. A bit like Oppenheimer. Really, really good movie. Not quite sure I'd be rushing back to watch it a second time anytime soon. And then we have the cheesy Dungeons and Dragons movie back in the day. Had potential, but I think just a lot of things didn't click. Duplicity. Label's still on it, so I can't tell you because I've not watched it. Then these random ones. This is probably some of the stuff I will purge. Dynamo. I do like it, but it's good at the time. But is it something I'm ever going to go back and watch? Probably not. Eagle Eye. Shia LaBeouf again with Michelle Monaghan. I quite like this with kind of the or watching AI. Early Man, me and my wife are big fans of stop animation and Aardvark and Nick Park. So obviously this is the guy that did Wallace and Gromit. So we didn't think this was too bad. Quite a good voice cast as well. Echo to Earth. It was an alright movie, kind of a robot come to Earth and kids finding it. Maybe I'm getting a little bit too older for these sort of movies, but I thought it was okay. Easy A. My kind of first film to introduce me to Emma Stone. I thought this was quite a really good film. I thought she acted quite well, and obviously quite a few other famous faces in there with her. Ed Byrne, I do like him on Mock the Week, so I bought this up and haven't watched it, so I can't really comment. Bought this one as well. I watched this, I thought it was alright. I think he's better at a bit improv than it is anything else. Eden Lake, kind of horror thriller. I thought it was okay. Now, a movie I really like, and I hear that they may be making a sequel. Live, Die, Repeat. Absolutely love this. I am thinking of doing a kind of film series or a top 10 of the kind of Groundhog Day style movies. We have Edison, Justin Timberlake as a news reporter uncovering a story and some corrupt cops. I thought this was quite a good movie, quite underrated. Piper Piedra as his wife as well, I believe in it. And then the last one for this video, this is classic. This is one I watched all the time in the 90s, Ed TV. Matthew McConaughey, big fan of Jenna Elfman at the time, obviously of Dharma and Greg. I really love this one. Very silly movie, but I like it. And there we go. This is the latest collection. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be back next week with another one. I've been Cypher Sigma.